Hello everybody, March 17th. We had another great week. We're getting closer and closer all the time. Let's take a walk up and take a look. Look at the way the roof is finishing up. Guys did the concrete beams, finished those up nicely. The wood is looking great. Let's go inside before we lose daylight here and take a quick look around inside. I'll show you now that we got it cleaned up in here. This is the stepping in through the living room door, little closet on that side. You see that's the laundry room over there. This is the kitchen and the living room here. And kitchen, as you can see, we got that big black tarp there. That's the windows wrapped up, ready to go in. Take a look at the ceiling. Ceiling's looking really pretty with the exposed beams. You can see the white 6mm plastic. I got a single piece of plastic over the entire roof and created the airflow for between that plastic. We'll have some insulation on the inside of that plastic that will separate us from an airflow that's going along in between the plywood roof and the inside ceiling. And I created an inch of airflow between each one of those beams with that plastic, so it'll give it a nice fresh feel and it'll vent out the top of the ridge. And so here's you can see we have the plug-ins in, light switches are in, plumbing of course is there. Got catching the light really nicely now at this time of day, and beautiful view. Look what happened. We stepped inside and it's just starting to rain outside just a little bit, really pretty. So here we have down into the laundry room, nothing really there. This is the bathroom. Bathroom is kind of cool. What we did is we started doing some partitions in there. So we partitioned off the shower and the toilet. It's a big room. It's like 13 feet by 8 or 9 feet, something like that. So it's a nice sized room and we wanted plenty of space in here. If you look on the floor here, Suzanne came up with this kind of a layout for our vanity. You see, it'll come out and then it'll cut across at a 45-degree. That'll give us a nice space between this wall, which is the shower partition, and the vanity. So walk in here, have our shower on this side. In between the shower, that'll be part of the shower wall there on the right, and then a partition will be going around the toilet over there. And we'll make a little bench in between these two, so we have a dressing area here, and then of course the double sink vanity there as it's laid out on the floor. You can see it there. And then we'll have the other door into the master bedroom. And look at in here what we've got. We've got our windows are already in. Really nicely done, beautiful windows. These are, people get them from the States and they're new windows that somebody ordered and didn't want or changed their mind or whatever the case may be. But super beautiful windows. Look at that. That's got a nice screen on it. It's new, so it functions really nicely well, even though it's super dirty down there. It needs cleaning. But really happy with these three. Got 3 of them in the other day just to see how it was, and turned out really, really nice. Here we've got the 4x8 sheets of styrofoam, which will go against the outside of the house when we backfill. And that will create an insulation between the ground mass and create so that this brick wall, which nobody here really does heating in their houses and they don't do insulation. So the brick wall becomes cold like the earth outside. And in this case, we're going to create the thermal barrier with this insulation on the outside of that wall, which will make this mass, the concrete wall, become part of the inside temperature, which will make it warmer during the winter and of course cooler during the summer, coming up from the coolness of the floor. And so, you know, if anybody wants to talk to me about that, we can talk more details, but that's what we're doing there. You'll see it's nice and bright in here, even though we're on the opposite side of the house from the sun going down, and that's because we got an extra skylight I cut in up there. Really happy how these beams are turning out after we put the ceiling in between, which is going to be a little labor intensive, and perhaps I would have done it differently if I gave it more thought, but here we are. So I'll do it, and we'll have beautiful exposed beams, and we'll have a beautiful ceiling up there. It'll be really nice. This is about 14 feet of closet right there. Maybe it's less than 14, I think it's 12. 12 feet of closet will be in there. And I don't know if you noticed, but here also in the bathroom, which was one area I was concerned about being dark in here, we also have a skylight in there too. So lots of, even though we don't have any reflection from paint yet, we only have the gray concrete sucking up all the light. We're still quite bright in here and quite nice. So I'm quite happy with that. Let's go outside and take a little walk in the rain. This is, you know, a little bit of a drizzly day here. So it's really not pouring, but a little bit of rain. So let's see if we can do this without getting it on the camera. So here on the outside, you'll see we've got the impermeabilizante. Impermeabilizante comes in that big yellow can there, and you apply that with a trowel, and you trowel it on. It's super thick waterproofing, and that'll be the, well, we've got, down here, we've got waterproof cement first. Then underneath the plastic at the bottom down there, we've got a 3-inch tube to take a perimeter drain that's lower than slab level. And then we've got the impermeabilizante, and then we're going to have 6 mil plastic, and then we're going to have insulation. So we've got like 3 barriers of waterproofing on this solid concrete wall. And the earth will come right up to the window level there, which if you were to look, you can see the earth level is very close already to that level. And we just backfill in there, and it'll be a few plants planted along there, and you won't even see this house. It'll kind of disappear. And then here, where this iron is, we'll have the little wall will come out here where this iron is to hold this backfill up. And then that rock down there that we see, that we've been working around on the patio, will become a beautiful little garden around that rock, which will be seen from the bedroom windows with some geraniums or something like that in there out into the yard. And on this wall here, on the inside, we have a hose bib. You can see the hose running down there and that hose bib up there. We're going to make a tee off of that, and on the inside of this wall, where it's not really seen from the patio, we will put another hose here and one on the opposite corner of the house, so that we have, in case of ever a grass fire or anything like that, we have a hose on each side of the house. That'll be good. The roofing is all done. You can see the 2 domas or skylights that we've put in there already. That's nicely done. You can see the dead man is down there, still formed up. It was just poured on Friday. Of course, those blocks are just sitting against it to hold it a little bit while the concrete dries. But a dead man is there, and 3 of them along down here. 1, 2, 3. And those ones against the back. And that's just a big, heavy, triangular piece of concrete poured into with the steel. And it's supporting that wall and will be buried, but it will support the wall and stop it from ever getting cracked up or having any kind of structural problem with that. And, you know, these are extras that some people leave out and later wonder why their wall cracks up. You can see here on this side of the house, that one's been stripped, the formwork's been stripped, and there it is. And that'll be buried, but it'll always be there to support that wall. You can see the up here on the roof, that ridge vent that we finished up there. It has a 3/4 inch gap, and then it has a steel mesh. The steel mesh we put in there so that no birds or mice or bugs or insects go up inside underneath that little cap. And there's another one, there's another steel mesh sitting on the flat inside there, where the roofing is actually open to the air vent that we created. And what'll happen is the wind is always coming. Right now it's coming from my back, so it's going up this roof and it's going through that vent there and out the other side. And what it'll do when it opens to the inside, let's see if you can see it here and if I can not fall in the backfill, but let's see if you can see up in there. Yeah, that's a 1-inch opening in between each rafter with a screen on it. So what happens when the air blows up this roof, it goes in that vent and across the vent, causing a vacuum, and it'll suck fresh air in from underneath this eaves, and that'll create a flow of fresh air between the insulation, the ceiling, and the plastic inside and the hot roof on the outside, and that'll create a freshness in the house and stop the transferring of that heat on the roof into the house. So it's going to be like a natural air conditioning. This was a fun thing. When this wall goes in here, a little tiny wall going right across here from the house across to this wall over here, and it'll be up about the height of the window. You see a light socket on each side there. And what will happen is, inside of that, if you step through here on this side, we'll have a little utility patio and a gas tank for the stove and stuff like that. But you won't be able to see it because it'll be behind this wall. And for me, I had a couple of light switches put in here, and this will be my barbecue area. I'll be able to put the barbecue here on the corner of the patio, and I'll switch the light on. The light will come on by my barbecue, or switch the other light on and it'll come on in the utility area. So super happy about how things are coming. Super happy at the look of the way the roof is coming out. It really looks cool now, and the wood beams look cool up there. And you know, it's a lot of work. It was a little labor intensive. I certainly would do some things differently, but I had a good group of guys working on it with me, and Suzanne came up whenever she could, and she helped cleaning up and stuff like that. So we're almost there. Our big goal for the coming week is to get we have the septic tank already down there. It's a plastic 2-tank system that's very environmentally friendly, and that pipe will run from here, the house, straight down across the top of the yard, past the brick pile down there, over the hill and down over there, so that later we can hook the main house into the same tank system. And so our goal in this coming week is to get that dug, the trench dug, and hook in those pipes and put the septic tank in. And then way down at the far corner, way down by the white domes down there on the road, that's 119 meters away, we have electric pole installed. We have a contract for the electric company to come and hook us in. They need to hook us to that transformer way over there on that far side. I don't know if you can see it, but over there. And they need to hook it to our pole. And then I bought 300 meters of cable to come all the way from there, 120 meters up to the house here. And then we'll have extra cable to do all the other houses or anything else we do on the property. So that, hook in the septic, hook in the electrical, hook in the water to the back of the house. And we're 99% there, folks. Super happy, super excited. Thanks for looking in. If you have any questions, send us a note. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.